Why do I think it, and why do lots of other businesses, not just chiropractic, think it's so important to do something like a health class or an orientation class or a mandatory class? Without sounding condescending, yes, there is an element of education to it, but there's a deeper thing with this. Okay, let me give you an example. We live in an age today where people are pretty much trying to get rid of almost everything that requires human beings. We're going to have driverless cars. We already have driverless cars. We have automated telephone calls going out. We have Siri. We have AI. We have now you're able to simply say to Alexa, you can order things online without even speaking to a human being. You can everything from book your travel to your flights to just about anything you can do online now and not even speak to a human being. So let's start with that. And the interesting part of that conversation is this: even though that is the case, it is interesting to me to state the following fact. I'm going to mention some names now, some of the biggest online marketers on the planet. Let me be clear. These people have they have made $1 million in a day. Many of them, they've had incredible opportunities to increase their wealth, etc. by not speaking to anyone, by simply sitting at home in front of their computer in their underwear most of the time, and make a lot of money. And a lot of people look at that situation and go, that's the dream. And what's so interesting about that situation is, even with that being the case, they all still get in a plane, fly halfway across the world to speak to an audience. And let me just say that again. Let me start that again. They fly halfway across the world in a plane that's a pain in the ass. When you first start speaking internationally, the novelty is quite cool, and trust me, it wears off very, very quickly. But they still wait in the queues, travel terrible travel times. They still jump on a plane. They still travel halfway across the world to stand up in front of an audience for sometimes as short as 60 to 90 minutes, when they are making up to $1 million a day online. Why in the world would they do that? And here's why they do that. Because I don't care how good you are at marketing. I don't care how good you are at online marketing. I don't care how many leads you can generate. I never forget, my biggest mentors taught me this. Nothing will ever replace both the quantity and quality. Specifically, emphasis on the second part of that sentence, the quality of leads. And there's a third part, in the time frame in the shortest time frame that you can, by doing, except for talks. Nothing will ever be able to match the quantity and quality and the return investment on your time that you'll ever get from talks. Yes, you may generate a lot of leads online. Listen, if you just want a lot of leads, you can just do Groupon. You'll get a ton of leads, I'll tell you that. But if you've been in business for a while, been in practice for a while, you'll know that there's a difference between a lead and a quality lead. And there's this beautiful tension between sales and marketing that will forever exist. And if you don't have a sales and a marketing team, let me tell you who your sales and marketing team is. Your sales team is you. You are the sales guy. You're the guy that does the initial consultations, the report of findings. You are essentially the sales guy. The marketing is, even if it's an internal dialogue, you'll be sitting in an initial consultation, for instance, an exam, and you may be with what, I don't really believe in this, but what people commonly term a tire kicker, and you may think to yourself, damn it, I really hate this. I hate that I'm sitting with this guy, it's wasting my time. That dialogue there is the tension that will always exist between sales and marketing. That just happens to you internally. If you change it up and you have a sales team and you have a marketing team, that dialogue still exists. Trust me, I know. I have salespeople in my business, both on the phone as well as my chiropractors and therapists. and I have a marketing team. And no matter what we do, this is the dialogue that happens. Marketing says to sales, or actually sales will normally moan first. Sales will say to marketing, sales, chiropractors, practitioners, whoever is seeing the lead, for instance, or the prospect at that point, will say to marketing, you need to get us higher quality leads. And marketing, trying to do the very best that they can, will end up saying to sales, you need to learn how to close better. Now, how do I know that? Because I have up to 50 associates at any one time. I've had anywhere from 35 to 50 associates, and I tell you that for 10 years of doing this, that will always exist. And sometimes they'll be using an excuse. So it doesn't even matter how good the person is or bad the person is. You may find someone might, as a justification, will say, well, the reason I'm not doing so well in practice is because you're not getting me high quality leads. So even if it's not true, often what will happen is the salesperson will justify why they're not doing that well, based on the fact that the marketing, maybe you at the time, is not generating high enough quality of lead. But it's really a mixture of both those scenarios. As I said, if you want a shit ton of leads, you just go and get a whole bunch of leads from Groupon, and you got no problem if that's all you're worried about, and there's a time and place for that. But there is nothing that will my response to that person normally is, why? Okay, great, you want high quality leads, you need to do a lot of talks. Hey docs, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you found it helpful. And if you haven't yet checked out one of my free books, New Patient Avalanche, how to get a ton of new patients in your practice, or Practice Growth Speaking Secrets, how to do lunch and learns and corporate talks, and how to get people to come to you for informational talks, click on the link below, grab a book. They're absolutely free. All you do is pay for shipping. I think it's $7.95 or something, and you get all the templates and everything you need, and cool bonuses within them to fulfill those things like downloads, etc. Click on the link below, grab one of those books, and I hope it's helpful. See you soon.